Okay, so we have an urgent breaking news coming out. US President Trump has 2 weeks to save America from empty shelves. Yesterday we talked about 6 to 8 weeks we could see empty shelf, but today we have an urgent update. You have CEOs of Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and many other big stores. They are urging Donald Trump, hey, we got 2 weeks left, like 2 to 3 weeks. We need to, again, address the American people about this. So we do have all the updates here, and it's very important that people start stocking up. China import have come to a halt, which means the factory are shut down. They're not sending no more containers to America. We're not gonna get nothing now. Now, again, the stores right now, we are still seeing some stuff, but those are the only things we are getting. And I give it like maybe 2 weeks or possibly a month. Stores are gonna look like ghost towns. It's gonna be empty. All right. Now I went to Publix here in the state of Florida. Publix is a supermarket. They sell food and stuff like that. It's a big company, and I spoke to the manager when it comes to the meat and seafood, and she said we don't need to worry about tariff because we get our seafood from South America. So South America is working with Donald Trump, and it came to some kind of agreement when it comes to seafood and meat. Now, the only thing that is gonna hurt us is like stuff that is made in China, like iPhone chargers or toys or stuff like that, like Dollar Trees or General Dollar, like 99 cents. Dollar stores, stuff like that. But again, those product is what's going to impact, again, the American people, this country. So eventually, we're gonna see the store shelves getting empty and empty, and yeah, this is gonna be brutal. It seems like this year we're not even gonna have Christmas. Buckle up. This thing is gonna hit the fan. All right, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2. Holiday, Florida 34691. And guys, for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you so much for your support. Your support truly helps out. Thank you so much, guys. Trump has 2 weeks to save America from empty shelves. 2 weeks. Please share the video. Donald kept the world on edge with a trade policy that seems to change by the day. So far, American consumers have been shielded from much of the impact, but as the world of international shipping adjusts to his policies, the president is facing a potential reckoning, with the US-China trade war starting to gum up container traffic between the world's two biggest economies. Freight companies are warning of plunging bookings and a surge in blanking sailings where ports are skipped or voyages are called off together. So they're not sending no more stuff. In other words, they're not sending nothing. So China is like, I'm not bluffing. Donald is like, I'm not bluffing either. I'm not bluffing. So things are going to hit the fan. And China warned other countries that, again, when it comes to not purchasing their stuff, that is going to hurt them too. So we are definitely seeing some trade wars here, guys. This is what you call WW3. Again, WW3 is not only missiles, it's not only tanks, but WW3 includes cyber, includes trade wars, currency wars. Again, these are WW3 stuff that we are seeing right now, and it just one of those end time Bible prophecy events that's written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 21. Earlier this week, America's most powerful retail executives, we're talking about CEOs, some very powerful people here, trooped into the White House to deliver a blunt prognosis, basically an urgent message. Tariffs on Chinese goods risk causing empty shelves in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Without a change of course. The three companies who attended the meeting, the CEOs are Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, are among the most exposed to the president policies, which include tariff of up to 145% on Chinese goods and higher port fees for, again, Chinese made vessels. Home Depot is going to be a big one because, again, a lot of people need, like, stuff to cut grass, some trimmers and lawnmower and, light bulbs and all that type of stuff. And it just, our biggest mistake was to rely in other country to make products. That was our biggest mistake. Whoever gave the green light for other lands to make product, bad move. Walmart sources roughly 60% of its imports from China, including clothing, electronic, and toys, according to Reuters research, while around 50% of Target suppliers are also based there. Many retailers and manufacturers will have a buffer of stock kept in warehouses and other storage facility that will have initially allowed them to weather any disruption. But these can only last so long, usually a matter of weeks. And after that point, retailers will face a choice: pay the tariffs and either swallow the extra costs or pass them on to consumers or stop buying goods from China and accept shortages on shelves. Wow. This is going to really hurt many, not only here, but throughout the entire world. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of people is going to, I don't know, I just have this strong feeling that everybody's going to start, selling stuff very expensive at garage sale. People's gonna go into garage sale because there's nothing at the store. There's nothing at Dollar Tree. Everything is gone. So the next thing people's gonna do is possibly go on Facebook Market, free stuff. Which, by the way, I think free stuff is not gonna be free anymore because people's gonna know that their stuff is gonna be worth money. So again, I just feel like garage sale, the flea market, Goodwill, those are going to be expensive items from now on. And yeah, so buckle up. This thing is going to be a whole different ball game. Sailing into trouble. There are signs that many American companies are now responding by canceling orders, at least temporarily. It takes about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, for vessels from the east coast of China to make their way to the west coast of America. And according to a data published by the Port of Los Angeles, which handles large amount of goods shipped from Chinese ports, including Shanghai, container traffic was 56% higher this week than a year earlier, likely reflecting a flood of orders that were placed just before Donald Liberation Day tariff announcement on April 2nd. But next week, traffic is expected to be 11% lower and then 33% lower than the week after. Yeah, these CEOs, they all went to the White House, every single one of them, and they are urging Donald, hey, Donald, man, you do know what you're doing here, right? I can't, all right? The American people are just going to go to our stores. They ain't going to be seeing a lot of items here. Flat screen TV possibly going to be gone. Which, again, some of these flat screen TV, they do come from, like, Japan and stuff like that. So, like I said, we still going to have stuff, but it ain't going to be that much stuff. The drop is predicted arrivals at Los Angeles follows reports from data provider uh, Vision of a crash in container bookings in April. By the way, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, he said that he's going to file a lawsuit against Donald due to tariff. He's saying that it's hurting the Californian people. The economy is very bad in California. Uh, Dude, I don't know where you've been at, but Cali has always been really bad. So, man, yeah, you're acting like California people were paying $300 a month for 3 bedrooms. There's a massive exodus. Cali has always been messed up. People are leaving that region. It says here for shipments from China to the US, bookings fell 64% in the first week of the month compared to the previous week. Analysts blame the crash on imports who were canceling shipments to reassess cost, timelines, and broader trade strategy. This is leaving more container ships half empty and prompting more shipping companies to cancel voyages in a bid to reduce losses and stop fees plummeting. The spot cost of shipping a 40-foot container has already fallen from $5,729 at the start of the year to $2,793 according to Agneta, a shipping data platform. Now, a lot of people is like, man, why is Donald doing this? Well, Donald put out a message, and I was not aware of this. Many Americans were not aware. But back in the I guess in the 1800s, Americans didn't pay taxes. It was tariff that were paying taxes, the tariffs. But then it stopped in 1915, if I'm not mistaken. That's when Americans started paying taxes. So I'm like, wow. So we weren't paying taxes; it was tariffs. So I guess Donald is going back to those times that why should we be the one when other lands should be the one doing it? Again, they're making so much money and profits and stuff like that. All right. So it says here. Meanwhile, the number of blank sailings is surging since early April. The number of okay, so we already know this. I'm gonna skip this one here. This turn reduces demand for capacity on container vessels, to which carriers respond by canceling sailings. This level of escalation is blanket capacity illustrates a dramatic change in the market. So we're going to be very nice. So you have Peter, head of the policy at the UK Chamber of Shipping, says the question of whether this will now result in empty spaces on American shelves will depend on a range of factors. But it is uncertainty that is likely to prove most damaging, he adds. There is still a hell of lot of uncertainty, says Elliott. And in that situation, many people just pause activity to wait and see what will happen. The president had previously defended his tariffs strategy as being necessary to restore American manufacturing, but within hours of this week's closed door meeting with retail chiefs, he appeared to have shifted his position dramatically. We're going to be very nice. They're going to be very nice, and we'll see what happens, he told reporters on Tuesday in comments that were viewed as the olive branch to China. The olive branch? Ultimately, climbing down from the trade war on terms acceptable to Washington is not in Trump's gift alone. Beijing has hit back with its own tariff of 125% on American exports. And despite his claim that the two sides are in regular contact, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman on Thursday shot this claim down, telling reporters that the suggestion was groundless and has no factual basis. Whatever Donald now hopes to accomplish, he needs to do it quickly. If not, American shoppers may see the impact of this trade war on shelf within 2 weeks. All right, we're going to go with the next one here. Do me a favor, please share the video. Hold on, we got more news here. Man, this is a good article. And it's very important to know these things here. So empty store shelves are coming as companies cancel orders from China amid tariff concerns. Guys, if you like this content, subscribe. I think I'm gonna start talking more about the empty shelves and tariff stuff. So again, make sure you hit that notification bell. I will keep you updated with all this. So, like I say, guys, it's very important to stock up. Very important. And I'm not saying go buy flat screen TVs and stuff like that. Stuff that is very important to have. Again, it's very important to make sure that you have your preparation kit and all that type of stuff, because a lot of it, believe it or not, like the first aid kit, that do come from China too. So you may want to stock up on certain stuff. So companies slowing or canceling orders from China could lead to empty shelves in stores amid Donald's ongoing trade war with its major trading partners. Now, currently, the number of freight vessels scheduled to arrive at the port of Los Angeles is on track to be down by 31% for the week ending May 10th, compared with the previous year, according to the ship tracking site Port Optimizer. Now, earlier this month, the president raised the tariffs on import from China to 145%. It comes at a time when U.S. retailers will usually be ramping up to prepare for fall and winter shopping periods. Remember, I told you guys it seems like there ain't gonna be no Christmas this year. That's what it seems like. I mean, again, I could be wrong. There's a possibility maybe by that time, U.S. and China could come to certain agreements, but they need to do that really quick, because again, when you stop production, it's gonna take a long time to open up and fill up the shelves. It's gonna take a while. So it says here, however, on Friday, you have the news reported that China appeared to have rolled back retaliatory tariff of 125% on some products made in the U.S. Three import agency told the outlet that the move was an attempt to mitigate prolonged escalation. The exemptions, per CNN, apply to integrated circuits, also known as microchips or semiconductors. Jonathan Gold, Vice President of Supply Chain and Customs Policy for the National Retail Federation, said that the U.S. retailers were still struggling to predict the effect of tariff on supply chains and, subsequently, their purchases. They're making their holiday buying decision now, he told the news. It's a challenge for folks to figure out how to properly order and price with all the uncertainty that's out there on the tariffs. If no changes to Donald tariffs are made, U.S.-based companies have to pay at least 145 in tariffs fees to Custom and Border Protection to import more items valued at $100, wiping out profits unless the prices are hiked up significantly. American companies, including Target, have already decreased or canceled order. Oof. Wow. They already canceled order. It's not even summer. Man. Wow. So again, American companies, including Target, have already decreased or canceled orders. Chinese vendors told the news earlier this month. In addition, the National Retail Federation expect imports to drop by 20% in the second half of the year if no changes to tariff are made. Once again, please share the video. Thank you so much for your support. Industry leaders have compared the current fears to those during the C19 2020, when shortages of basic goods, including toilet paper, became apparent on U.S. store shelves. Yeah, but that was different though. That was different. It was weird, and it was confusing. Completely shut down the entire region. It was so terrible. It was a nightmare. It was 2020 was like I don't know what in the world happened in 2020. So, Sean, the president of the U.S. China Business Council, told the news that customers will begin seeing shortages. Here we go. Customers will begin seeing shortages of various items beginning in a couple of weeks. All right, so these are very important people. You got CEO, you have the president of the U.S. China Business Council. I mean, these people are sounding the alarm, guys. Again, this is not a fear mongering video. This is the real deal. All right, so they are really, really sounding the alarm. All right, so shortages could happen possibly in a couple of weeks. We are just going to start running out of stuff. And if the administration waits to resolve the problem until we have shortages and hoarding, that is just too late. That's what I just mentioned. Let's say, Donald, again, let's say the US and China come to some kind of agreement in summer, right? There ain't gonna be no Christmas because it's gonna take time to, send all these containers, and it's gonna take time to fill up these shelves. It's possibly gonna take a year to fix all that. So people still gonna see shortages for like a whole year. And yeah, this is not good. Because again, Donald said that the rich is gonna be fine. What? Yeah, because they rich. But what about the poor? Because again, the poor, I mean, we go to Dollar Tree, we go to Dollar General, because we live paycheck to paycheck. We on the budget, we try to save as much as we can. But now it's gonna hurt us even more, because Dollar Tree it's gonna be empty. So where shall we go? I mean, Donna says the rich is gonna be fine. Yeah, your buddies are gonna be okay. Your friends and all them high, billionaires. I mean, they're gonna be fine. But what about the millions? And again, like I said, I'm not going after Donald, but again, he didn't mention about the poor. And to the poor, we're gonna take care of you. He didn't say none of that. He just said we're gonna, the rich is gonna be okay. Duh. Of course they're gonna be okay. They rich. So, all right. So it says here on Thursday, Donald hinted that his administration and China were at the negotiating table and actively having discussions to resolve the trade war, but the claims were quickly shut down. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Quickly shut down. Meaning that, that negotiation didn't last. It didn't last. The president said he planned to be very nice to reach a deal, admitting that his 145% tariff on the Chinese goods was too high, and vowed it would come down substantially. However, two Chinese officials on Thursday contradicted his claims. You have Mr. Hang, China's Ministry of Commerce spokesperson, said Thursday any claims about the progress of China-U.S. trade negotiation are groundless, as trying to catch the wind and have no factual basis. That's where we are with that one. Okay, so guys, I guess again, let me know if you like the tariff news stuff, the shortages. I'm thinking about doing more of these videos because I feel like it's very important to talk about it. Because again, scriptures tells us that there will be great famines, which means shortage when it comes to food, when it comes to stuff, when it comes to all these things. There will be shortages. So I'm thinking about doing this channel as the shortage news, famines, and I'm thinking about Grand Supreme News making that nation against nation war. So, what do you guys think? My next video, possibly talk more about the tariff. There's a lot of news that's coming out about it. But leave comments down below. If you like the content, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And again, thank you so much for your support, either through Cash App or PayPal. Your support really helps out. I'm not going to read the other article. I'm thinking about leaving that for possibly my next video. I got some more tariff news I want to share with you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path, and that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2. Holiday, Florida 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon will get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on YouTube. Also, guys, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.